Unodc Works. Unodc Project Office in Albania has increased its portfolio and areas of intervention during 2014. The office is working on combat against organized crime with special focus on fight against illicit trafficking of narcotics and trafficking in human beings, anti-corruption with a clear gender component, drug treatment and care, and social inclusion. All the above-mentioned interventions are carried out in close partnership with the government of Albania, international community, and UN agencies in the country. Being an active member of UN country team, UNODC has managed to show its comparative advantage and introduce a niche. This has resulted in being successful in fundraising from local donors, such as the Swedish government and the Swiss government.
Albania faces a number of challenges in the area in its fight against organized crime. The present government is displaying a lot of political will in this regard, and this is recognized by the international community and as well as the population. The UN supports national priorities, and the priority of the priorities in Albania is accession to the EU. So the UN supports the country to implement its EU accession agenda. The negotiations for EU accession start with chapters 23 and 24, which basically relate to justice and the rule of law. So the area of corruption, of course, is a very, very important area in terms of acceding to the EU. So in this context, the specific areas where the UN has been working, and more particularly UNODC has been supporting, is in the area of integration border management through the implementation of the container control program. Another area of organized crime, which is a serious challenge, is the one regarding the trafficking in human beings. So rather than being a transit or destination country for foreign victims, Albania has predominantly turned into a country of origin for international trafficking in women and children. In the area of corruption, UNODC is of course also an active player, an active supporter, along with other UN agencies such as UNDP, of course. So the UN tries to promote a culture of non-tolerance towards corruption in the public sector, as well as measures to reduce the vulnerability of government institutions based on the UN Convention Against Corruption, UNCAC. Through its assistance to the UNCAC implementation review mechanism, UNODC, along with UNDP, are contributing to strengthening of the reporting skills of the concerned authorities. UNODC has also supported innovation in this area by giving a special focus to women. Women being at the center of the family, taking care of the family, are often most exposed to corruption in access to basic social services. UNODC also works with the WHO in the area of drug treatment. So they contribute to the expanding and improving the drug treatment and care services that are based on public health, human rights, and the integration of UNODC WHO principles of drug dependence treatment in project countries. Another important area, involvement of UNODC in the UN system efforts in Albania is in terms of social inclusion. UNODC is a member of is an active participant in a UN joint social inclusion program, which involves a number of 6 or 8 UN agencies, and UNODC is involved specifically with introducing the rehabilitation programs into prison settings. and also in terms of promoting the role of social workers into the family drug treatment process. UNODC in Albania is working in a context characterized by two very important issues for the issue of fighting illicit drugs and crime and corruption. It is characterized by the fact that it's working in a country where these are real issues, serious issues, and which are impeding the country's access to the European Union. And it's also working in a country, another relevant issue is it's working in a country where the UN is delivering as one. It's working in the context of a program of cooperation which involves 19 other United Nations agencies, and where it has the possibility of, with very little, doing a lot. In this context, because of the synergies, because of the expertise, because of so it is very important to have in Albania, in countries like Albania, and in Albania for this case, a strong UNODC, which is able to bring in all of that technical expertise and that know-how and that comparative advantage that will help the United Nations effectively support Albania in achieving its national priority of legalization.
UNODC activities had a wide coverage in the printed and electronic media. Its activities had live broadcast on some well-known TV stations. There are 25 articles and chronicles on UNODC in the Albanian media.